Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back over to the Vietnam Dong. There's some interesting moves by Vietnam. It's something that caught my attention that I'll share with you and get your opinion on this. Before we get started, though, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you are a subscriber, I kindly request that you check from time to time. YouTube has been removing subscribers off different content creators' YouTube channels. So just doubly make sure that you are still subscribed if you want to be, and that the notification button is clicked. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, now is the time to buy the shine. Yes, it is a little bit on a discount. Don't panic and don't let that fool you. For people like me who love to stack, this is buying gold and silver on a sell. I'll take it. Anyways, when you go to buy your gold and silver, go check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. So there are a handful of companies that are famous over there in Vietnam that are about to expand. As Vietnam continues to open up the doors to the international community, a lot of their more popular brands are really starting to boom, which this is great, obviously, for Vietnam and the people who work at these companies. Vietnamese fish sauce industry seeks ways to expand abroad. Said Vietnamese fish sauce needs to improve the food hygiene and safety as well as diversify products to expand exports. Yeah, this is probably the last thing you want to hear before you go buy your Vietnamese fish sauce, is that it does need better hygiene. According to the Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, just a modest amount of fish sauce was exported, around 12.6% of the country's total output per year, mainly to the Asian market, 54%, the Australian market, which is 18%, and African and European markets, 13% last year. There are 17 production establishments currently exporting fish sauce. Tin said there is a significant room for Vietnam to promote the export of the fish sauce, given the country's favorable natural conditions and wealth of experience in the production. Well, the last thing you want to do again is have somebody come over and say you have a hygiene issue. That's just not good on your company. That doesn't reflect well, and it just sounds nasty. According to the Agro Processing and Market Development Authorities, there are more than 4,200 fish sauce production establishments across the country, with an average output of around 380 million liters. You know what? That's a dang lot of fish sauce companies, man. The export of fish sauce would not only open the door to advertising Vietnamese culture and cuisine to the international market, but also bring benefits to the country. Of course, it's what I was just mentioning. In recent years, the fish sauce industry enhanced the application of science and technology in production to improve food hygiene and safety and meet the requirements of international markets. With a modest share, there was a large potential to promote exports. The interesting thing about this particular paragraph, it says recently they have enhanced the application of science and technology to the product to improve food hygiene. So was the hygiene okay and they're just stepping up the game? Or was it necessary for them to step up the game so that they can meet the requirements necessary? Hoa pointed out that the biggest barrier to export expansion was food hygiene and safety, stressing the focus must be placed on meeting the safety requirements of the export markets together with strengthening market research on taste and diversifying fish sauce types with full origin traceability records. I did spot something else in this particular article that will grab the attention of all of the crypto people. Producers needed support to change the technology and apply to quality management systems such as a hazard analysis, a risk-based preventive controls, hazard analysis, and critical control points, and ISO 22000 to meet the requirements of the US, Australian, European markets. So ISO, I wonder if it's the same thing as the ISO 222. It's a type of communication software. So Vietnam earned 28.53 million from exporting fish sauce in 2021. So it's not too bad, and there's definitely room for growth. But the fact that they have 4,200 production companies making fish sauce, that's crazy. But I do like the idea that they are expanding. The more they expand, the better. Global manufacturers gradually focus on Vietnam. Let me reword this for you. These globalists from the World Economic Forum are gradually focusing on Vietnam. Many manufacturers in the global supply chain of major firms are gradually focusing on Vietnam. Notice how they said a global supply chains, and we got supply chain issues out there. I guarantee that the World Economic Forum will come up with a solution for that as well. Remember, they create the problem, they give you the solution. Many manufacturers of the global supply chain of major firms are gradually focusing on Vietnam. In particular, Apple has moved 11 factories of Taiwanese enterprises in its supply chain to Vietnam. Many other firms such as Foxconn, Lexus, Pegatron, and Wistron are also expanding their production facilities over there in Vietnam. Yeah, they're building a pretty big hub over there. It's an industrial hub. It's right there next to a couple bays, also one of the largest rivers over there in Vietnam, which makes it very easy for these companies to export their goods out of there. The information was shared at a conference on the situation and proposed tasks and solutions to remove difficulties and support production and business in the last 6 months of the year, organized by the Ministry of Planning and Investment this week. So as Vietnam continues to open up their doors and more of these companies are coming in, of course, what they're taking advantage of is the cheaper labor rate, which is a major issue for those of us who buy the currency as an investment. These globalists tend to get embedded into these countries and really start grabbing control of the politicians to get what they want, which is just cheaper labor. If you increase the value of the currency too much, then the labor cost and production goes up. Samsung built its largest research and development center in Southeast Asia, worth $220 million in Hanoi, and is also planning to continue to expand factories in the northern province. Earlier this year, Dong Nay province granted investment licenses for two $100 million projects of a component supplier for Samsung. So with a lot of these globalist companies looking to move into Vietnam, and this is great for the Vietnam economy, and as a matter of fact, we saw that the Vietnam currency did increase over the US dollar, but only by 2%. So the more I keep track of what's going on over there in Vietnam as far as business is concerned, and the more I see these globalists moving in, just let's be clear, they're moving in because of the cheap labor and production. It's going to be the same issue over there with Iraq, which is not something that you want, but it does not give them a very big incentive to increase the currency exchange rate when these companies are all moving over there for the sole purpose for taking advantage of the cheaper exchange rate. Another thing that I read an article about when it comes to Vietnam is the labor skills have really been improving over there. We're seeing a lot of potential employees who are being trained to handle this new wave of technology that's coming over, so they will be ahead of the ball game. So this is the type of thing we do want to see happen in Vietnam. This helps the economy. Again, my concern is, where is the incentive for them to change the exchange rate when you have globalists moving their companies in from all over the place, especially manufacturing jobs? This is exactly what Trump was fighting against. So once he gets back in office, you're going to see a lot of pissed off corporations who don't want to pay sanctions after they just paid hundreds of millions of dollars to move their factories into the cheaper labor countries. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So I came across this article, and it's definitely eye-catching. You'll see why. Vietnam Central Bank to increase FX sales frequency to ensure supply to market. The State Bank of Vietnam said on Monday it will increase the frequency of foreign exchange sales to be ready to supply foreign currencies to the market more often in bearish global conditions. The dollar Vietnam dong exchange rate has risen 2% from the beginning of this year, in contrast to the downward trend witnessed last year, the SBV said in a statement. The SBV will manage exchange rate in a way that creates room for the rate to move flexibly and absorb external shocks. At the same time, it will intervene in the foreign exchange market to limit excessive fluctuations in the exchange rate. So you see the reason why a lot of countries hold a lot of other currency, other than the fact that it makes it easier for trade. Also, if a particular currency starts to gain momentum or strength against your currency, you can flood the market with their currency, causing the value to go down, or you can tighten and allow that currency to go up. So if Vietnam becomes concerned that their currency is actually gaining more value against the US dollar, well, they could just tighten up the ropes on how much US dollars they release out into the public. Where if it was the other way around and they wanted to weaken the dollar, what they could do is just start selling a bunch of US dollars, causing the currency to be weakened depending on how much they sell. The central bank said it managed to buy large amounts of foreign currencies and increase its reserves thanks to favorable financial conditions in recent years. As of March this year, Vietnam's foreign reserves had reached a record $110 billion from the official data showed. Now, we're getting excited about the fact that Iraq is getting ready to possibly reach 90 billion by the end of this year, and Vietnam is already at 110 billion. In the context of unfavorable market movement, the SBV has been and will continue to sell foreign currencies to stabilize the market to facilitate and support foreign currencies needs. The SBV did not state how much it had sold to the market. Currency intervention is a sensitive issue for Vietnam. In the latest semi-annual report published by the U.S. Treasury Department last week, Vietnam also continued to exceed some thresholds for possible currency manipulation. Yeah, they do that because they know there's not going to be any punishment. If the globalists are smiling down on your country, you could pretty much get away with whatever you want, as long as other countries continue to benefit from your low valued currency. Anyways, that's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.